Hey everybody, this is Dean Cottrill here from T360. I'm with Lisa Piccardo, my partner
Everyone.
in consulting. Lisa, how are you?
I'm great. How are you, Dean?
Good, doing great. Happy
Good.
summer.
Yeah,
This is
you
part-
too. I'm looking forward to today's conversation.
Yeah, me too. We're very excited. This is part of our summer series that we're coming to you every single week on LinkedIn Live, that we want to bring something of value to help you run your organization, whether that be a very successful team or a brokerage. We're here to help support you. And we've got a wonderful guest here with Jeff Thompson. Hey, Jeff.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Good morning. Good morning. Good to see you. So Jeff is with Windermere Group 1, and he is running a really an awesome organization and something unique and different than what we normally see out there. And we thought it would be great to bring Jeff on and have a conversation about his company, what he's been doing out there with Windermere and his group that he's been running for a while, and get some insights from him. So Jeff, if you can, start and give the viewers here a little insight into your organization as, and I guess let me do this. I'll do a little more of an intro for you. You know, this is something that Jeff wanted, the traditional brokerage owner is going to be agents underneath them. The complete ownership is the owner, the broker owner, as we call it. But in your scenario, Jeff, that's not the case. So give some color to that, would you please?
Sure. Back in about 2010, we had the opportunity to open our own office, my wife and I, and she had been in real estate as a salesperson for quite a few years. And so when we did that, we already had an established office. It was actually a separation of a partnership. And we decided that at that time, I knew Larry Kendall from the group in Colorado and had known Larry for many years. And we decided that we were going to offer some ownership to some of the agents. So we started out, we got the company evaluated. We spent a lot of time putting together the corporate structure, which all that stuff, which I don't like, but we had to do it. So we put all that together. And then we started out with Patty and I owning, my wife and I owning 75% and offering 25% ownership. So we got the valuation of the company, figured out what 25% was, and they literally bought in. They brought money and bought in to the organization. And then, and so we started with 12 of us. And the idea was, honestly, guys, totally transparent. The idea was retention. We picked 12 of the people that are 11 people that we were good producing agents that we felt had the same mindset, the same culture that we did. We've known them for quite a while. We've been working together for many years. So we're like, hey guys, we'd like to offer this. And every one of them said, you bet. And they all knew Larry's business because we always talk about it. So they said, okay, we're happy to do that. So we started out with that. And then basically every year, thank the good Lord, we have had profits. So every year we would take that profit and we'd give out distributions and based upon their ownership. So when I did chat with Larry, I remember him saying, I think Dean and I chatted about this before, he said, what I would do differently in Larry's organization, I still believe this is true. Everyone's a partner. And he said, I would structure it differently so that not everybody becomes a partner. And so we started out with those 12 and really, as you start a new company, or we weren't really new, but a different entity, you just kind of want to build that. So for the first 5 years, I think it was just the 12 of us. We had one or two people leave. And so we already had a deal in place to buy their shares back. And then we had a couple join us. So we stayed about 12 for 5 to 7 years. And then we kind of got our sea legs, we got our legs back and we're like, okay. And then we started to offer, seek out partners or agents in our company that were like-minded, we felt would want this opportunity. And it started like, pretty 1 or 2 here. And then next thing you know, we're up to 40. And generally every year we offer an opportunity for them to buy in. There's some criteria. And if they meet that criteria, they have an opportunity to buy in as an equity partner and share in our profit. So right now we're at, I think, 40. And hopefully they're all happy.
That's awesome. So thanks, Jeff. So just for clarification purposes, I know there may be some people watching that know Larry Kendall just from Ninja Selling, right? The founder of that. But we're talking about Larry Kendall's brokerage in Fort Collins, the group, which he built with the same model, which is still a hugely successful company. So what a great retention tool. So when you had mentioned that you wouldn't make everybody partners, what does that mean exactly? What are they if they're not a partner?
They're just, we've got 85 agents, and so they're just a
Got
licensed
it.
realtor.
And
They
half
might
of
be-
them are partners.
They might be an employee. We have
Uh-huh.
4 or 5 employees that are shareholders, or that are, I'm
Oh,
sorry,
nice.
equity partners.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And what is some criteria because this is one of the things that you'd mentioned to me, and I would love for you to share it, like a new agent who gets in the business, there's a criteria of so many years to show that they're actually going to be good. And if there's an experienced agent comes over, what are some things that you do there and how you frame it?
Yeah, we've been very lucky that with new agents been very successful. We like to, do really in-depth training and stuff. And a lot of our newer people actually were clients of ours. They bought a house for one of our agents, and they're like, you know what, I might want to do this. And they like our agents, so they come to us, and we got some of our best agents have been past clients that joined us.
Yeah.
So first of all, as a brand new agent, you know that people get in this business and get out. So we would say you got to be with us 2 years as an agent, as a new agent, before you're not eligible, because we want to make sure you like us, we like you, and you like the business. So that was the easiest one for the new
That
person.
makes sense.
And then for the experienced person, we didn't want, we had one lady that joined us, great lady. She wanted to come in and she was all excited, wanted to put $100,000 into the company. We're like, no, whoa, no. The most you can put in your first year is $30,000. That's the most. And you got to be with us. We'll sell you those, but they're not yours until after a year, because we want to make sure you like us, we like you, and you're going to be long-term. It's not a get in, make some money on the stock and on the shares and get out. It's a long-term process, right? We don't want to, we can only sell those shares within, because we're not publicly traded. So it's all got to stay inside. So there's a lot of those rules you got to follow, but basically it's the whole culture, guys, that you guys talk about. If you fit in, and we've been lucky because we've had some people join us and they say they want to do what we're hoping they'll do. And 2 years later, we talk about ownership and they're like, buy equity, and they go, no, I'm not quite ready. And then it's like they move on because the culture isn't who they are, right? It's just not right. So that's been a blessing. We've been taking our time, and thankfully we don't need to have people buy in. We don't need to raise money. So we just
So what a great retention tool it sounds like. I mean, that's amazing. So, and it sounds like you really built out your agreements correctly for an exit strategy for those that you wanted out, right?
Yeah.
What would you do differently, Jeff, or what did you change since you first launched the program?
Well, when we originally launched it, we had it where you wouldn't get your full distribution if you didn't hit the cap in our as an agent. So we had that for the first 4 or 5 years, and unfortunately, all of our at that time shows hit cap. But then we realized that wasn't possible to do for an employee. What can an employee do? All right, so we changed that to make it so that everybody gets their distribution that's not based upon production. So we've done that. That was quite a few. That was like 7 some years ago we did that. And I think the other thing too that that's a very good question. What I do differently, I think we've kind of morphed as we've gone along. I think the biggest thing would be making sure that we articulate what the expectations of that equity partner is. And what we try to do, guys, is based upon each person. Dean might join us, and Dean wants to be all involved, wants to mentor agents, wants to do this and this. And then you got Lisa comes along and goes, hey, I just like the fact that I can make some extra money at the end of the day. And I can support you guys and just work hard. Well, okay, as long as their culture's there, as long as their mindset's there, it works. And it's funny, people will we find their way out because we in our marketplace, I don't think we have any agents in our top 10, but we got a whole bunch between 10 and 70. So you don't have to go out and do 80 transactions working. We have a minute. We like to say, hey, we like to have you do a deal, 1.5 deals a month, so 18 a year would be great. That's our kind of our goal. But we make them, we want them to be successful. And then we tell them, if you buy in, say, I want to be bigger part of something, right? But yet I want to be a part of something because I'm an independent contractor. So those two kind of marriage together. When they do, it's really nice. It's really nice. They go, I can make my living here, but you're not expecting me to go out and do 100 transactions. No, we want you to have a life, which is one of the philosophies we have.
Most people in our space are, we love, it's an ego and also we love to control everything, right? We're control freaks. So that you've given control over. So do you have a board of directors? Do you just, you and your wife make the decisions? How's that, whether you let somebody in or not let it? Who is it, a vote by the 40? Is it what? How's that work?
So good question. So we have a board of directors. We meet every month. We have 7 members. I'm one of those. I have a permanent spot on that board. And when we put the structure together, as long as I own more than 10%, I have veto power. And the only reason I did that was because the people that came in know me as the owner. Like, well, I kind of trust Jeff, and him and Patty have been doing this. So
Right.
as we start doing things differently, I want to make sure he's still there. And so now we're kind of unwinding that and saying, guys, you have input here as I phase out of the business.
Right.
You have input there. So we have monthly board of directors meetings. Then we have quarterly partner meetings. So every quarterly they come in and we sit down as a group and we share ideas and share things that we're doing. So that makes it a little bit easier, but also it keeps the fact that I can really have the veto power. So they decide they want to go and we're going to go and spend $500,000 to support local so-and-so. I can go, oh, well, wait a minute. I'm not sure that that's where we want to go, but we always have good discussions. When a new person comes on board, we ask our shareholders, our equity partners, we ask them, but it's still the ultimate decision is still mine, my sales manager and designated broker, because the last thing I want to do is turn somebody away and have them say, oh, it's because the partners didn't like them and then they got to do business with them. No. And the result is that Lisa wanted to join. The group said that me and the management team said, I don't think she's a fit. And we decide not. So yeah, we want to keep it that if you're going to blame somebody, blame us 3. Yeah.
Lisa would be definitely a good fit. She'd be a great fit. We're gonna keep your hands off her.
You use that board of directors if you want to, if you were to sell or make an acquisition. Like I know the group in Colorado acquired this Steamboat Springs, Colorado Group Realty back in last August. So I'm sure that was like a similar idea. The board of directors voted. If you wanted to sell, the board of directors would make that decision and vote as well.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Yeah, and
well,
then
that's awesome.
we ended up going to Oregon, opening up an Oregon office down there. So it's only about 30 minutes away. And so we had that vote. Are you going to support it? Are you going to go down there? We have functions, all those kind of things. Yeah.
Great. Well, I think we're at time. So I just want to do a little pitch we are accepting applications right now for our fall T3 Fellows class, which is a leadership, like an MBA style program for growing your brokerage. So we're looking forward to launching that in September. And if anyone is interested, you can go to t3fellows.com and fill out an application, and we'd love to talk to you about it.
Yeah, and this, Jeff, it's been great having you.
Yeah,
and
thank
one of the things that the program does is really gets entrepreneurs like Jeff and others around North America, and you collaborate and you hear great ideas and thoughts, and you just able to improve and perfect the brokerage, the team. It runs for large teams as well. So if you have interest, reach out to Lisa or myself. Jeff, it's been great. Thank you so much for sharing your story and your brokerage and your insight. That's been really powerful for a lot of people.
Best of luck with your continued success and enjoy the summer.
My pleasure, guys. And thanks a lot for keeping putting out those the trends that come out every year. I like that magazine. That book is fantastic. So keep up the good work.
Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
See you, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.